Let's study now the NMDA receptor channels. These receptor channels are opened by glutamate and by NMDA. But if we want to record their activity only, we use NMDA, which is their specific agonist. To record a unitary NMDA current, we select the outside-out configuration and we record in voltage clamp mode to record a current. We apply NMDA in the extracellular medium to open NMDA channels and NMDA channels only. It happens that in the course of their experiments, researchers found that magnesium ions here block NMDA channels. So what we are going to do at first is to record without any magnesium ions in the bath. It's a bath devoid of magnesium ions. Thus, we hold the membrane potential at minus 60 millivolts and we record an inward current here, quite large. And if we hold the membrane potential at plus 40, now the current is outward. This shows that the reversal potential of the NMDA current is in between minus 60 and plus 40 millivolts. To identify the exact value of this reversal potential, we plot the IV curve. If we plot the amplitude of the unitary NMDA current, lowercase I, NMDA, versus holding membrane potential, we obtain a linear curve which reverses, here the current reverses at 0 millivolts. So at hyperpolarizing holding potential, the current is inward, negative. At depolarizing membrane potential, the current is outward, positive. So this reminds what we obtain with the EMPA current and suggests that the NMDA channels are permeable to cations. Which cations? Sodium, potassium, and also calcium, or only sodium and potassium? We will address this question of ionic permeability of NMDA channels when we will study the total NMDA current. Why do we have to remove the magnesium ions? What do they do, these magnesium ions? So we still record in outside-out configuration to record the unitary NMDA current and in voltage clamp mode. Here the holding potential is minus 60 millivolts. In the absence of magnesium ions, as we saw before, we had an inward current. And when now we add some magnesium in the extracellular medium, which is quite a low concentration of magnesium because usually it's around 1 millimolar in physiological situations, we record now this type of current. What is it? If we redraw here the current, we see that the channel opens, then closes, but it's not really a closure, it's a blockade because it unblocks several times and then blocks and then opens and then block and then unblocks and then unblocks and then opens and then blocks. Now, if we record at plus 40 millivolts, the current is outward because we are beyond the reversal potential of the current, but there is no blockade. Why? It's because the magnesium ions at hyperpolarized potentials are attracted to go into the channel, and they are so big when they are hydrated and they dehydrate so slowly that they block the channel. Now, when the membrane is depolarized, magnesium ions are no longer attracted to go inside and the channel does not block. In summary, the NMDA channels is closed. Now, if two molecules of glutamate bind to the receptor sites here, the channel will open. Due to their electrochemical gradients, because the channel is cationic, the cations are going to go through the channel. Sodium ions go in, also magnesium ions, and potassium ions exit. Magnesium ions can block the channel, so here it's in a blocked state. And the channel is going to flicker between the open state and the blocked state, because sometimes magnesium ions can go through and the channel unblocks, but it flickers a lot of time between these two states, and this is extremely important to understand because normally at minus 60 millivolts, the channel is either closed or in the blocked state. it spends very little time in the open state. The membrane must be depolarized for the magnesium block to stop, and we will see that with the total NMDA current.